So hello and welcome to this video. In this video we'll be learning about variable arguments in Java. So variable arguments, or in short var-args, is a kind of feature that simplifies the creation of method that needs to take variable number of arguments. Alright, and it means a method can have 0 or more number of arguments. Okay, now before getting started with Varax, let us define a method, that is static int add. So add is my method which is consisting of two arguments. Okay, so I'll be passing two arguments, int x and y. So this method can accept up to two arguments. All right, this method will return x plus y, the sum of the two integers. Now if I want to call this method, I want to declare the main method, in which I'll be saying system.out.println result add, and the value of x say 10 and the value of y is 20. Okay, so if I would run this program, you can see the output is result is equals 30. All right, now if I'll be passing three arguments instead of two over here, I'll be saying 30, you can see there is an error that is saying expected two arguments but found three. All right, now this method can only accept up to two arguments. Now if I want to add these three numbers, that is 10, 20 and 30, I'll be passing one more argument over here, that is int z, and I'll be saying return x plus y plus z. All right, now if I would run this program, you can see the value will be 60, that is result is equals 60. Now instead of doing this kind of work, that is going on adding the number of, or going on passing the number of arguments into your method, so we can use something called var-args. So let me show you how to use var-args in Java. So var-args, or you can say variable length arguments, or you can also say variable arguments. All right, so I'll be saying that static int add. Now instead of passing argument, I'll be writing something like int list. Okay, now this three dots, or you can say this three dot, tells us that this method will be creating an array whose name is list, which will be storing all the arguments that will be passing over here. All right, so here I will say that I will be saying int sum is equals 0. All right, so I'll be so we can say that this is an array, so we can use a for each loop instead of a for loop. So I'll be saying for every integer I inside the list array, sum plus equals I. All right, okay, now I'll be saying return sum. All right, now you can see I have declared this method, that is add, which is a var-args, or you can say which is accepting a variable number of arguments. That means this method is creating an array, you can say the name of the array is list, which will be having all the arguments that will be passing over here and adding all of them. All right, so now this method will be adding all of them, 10 plus 20 plus 30. All right, so now if I would run this program, you can see the output will be result is equals 60. All right, so you can see result is equals 60. So no matter what, if I will pass 4 or 5 number of arguments over here, like 40, 50, you can say 60, 70, so there are 7 arguments over here. All right, so no matter what, you can pass any number of arguments, because we have used var-args, okay, which can accept a variable number of arguments. All right, either 0 or even more than that. All right, so if I would run this program again, you can see the value will be result equals 280. All right, so this is how we can use variable arguments to for the creation of method. All right, so this is known as the use of variable arguments. So let me explain you again about variable arguments. So basically I created a method named as add, alright, inside which I said int with 3 dots. Now this is the syntax of variable arguments. Now this 3 dot represent that this method add will be creating an array of integers, okay, whose name is list. Now this list array will be containing all of our arguments that will be passing over here, that is 10, 20 up to 70. Alright. Now initially I declared a variable sum which is having a value of 0. Then we are using a for each loop because we have an array, alright. So it is better to use a for each loop if you are operating on an array instead of a general for loop. So for every integer I inside the list, okay, inside this array, so list is an array, sum plus is equals I. That means sum is equals sum plus I, alright. It is like this is known as the augmented operator, alright. So sum is equals sum plus I, and at last outside the for block I'll be saying return the sum, okay. Now this sum is the updated value after all the addition, okay. And here you can pass any number of arguments. I have passed 7 arguments. You can pass 10, 20 or even more than that, and you can find the result over here. So if I would say there is like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and then 6, so these are the number of arguments. If I would run this program, you can see the sum of the numbers will be like something, I don't know, result is equals 301, alright. So you can use variable arguments for creation of method, alright. So you can, like, it is quite simple to create method which can take variable number of arguments, okay, that may be like a 0 or even more than that. So this is how we can use variable arguments or var-args, okay. So this is known as var-args, or like which is a short form of variable length arguments in Java, okay. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.